Hello students, welcome back to online classes. In this today's video we discuss about the new chapter, so that is the general principles and processes of isolation of elements. Okay, so this is the chapter number 6. So without boring you, directly I am going to start the general principles as well as the isolations which are behind the metals. Okay, so the 7 most antiquity metals are nothing but gold, silver, copper, tin, lead, iron and mercury. So these are the 7 most antiquity elements which are found in the earth crust. So in this chapter we are going to learn how we can extract the metals from its ore. So that is the theory behind this chapter. Okay, so throughout the unit you are going to learn about extraction, the purification methods, also concentration methods, and how we can isolate the elements, and lastly we are going to estimate the percentage of metals and the Elingham diagrams, etc. So in this chapter these are the main concepts. Okay, so these are considered to be the 7 most antiquity metals, and in the earth crust the third most abundant element is aluminum. So it is found in the form of Al2O3. Okay, so third most abundant element is Al2O3. It is found about 8.0% in the earth crust. All the metal atoms are present in the earth crust, but they are not in a pure form. So they are in the mixed form or as a compound form. So that is why, so whenever we are getting those materials from the earth crust, now we have to purify the metals as well as we have to extract them, then we have to go into for the formation of ornaments or as a utensil, whatever we want. So in this way, in the earth crust not only the pure metals are present, it is present in the form of the combined form. So that is why we can define minerals and ores. Okay, so we will get 2 terms. One is the mineral. So minerals are nothing but these are the chemical substances which are present in the earth crust that can be extracted by the help of a mining process. So through the mining process we are going to extract these minerals. Okay, so these are not ores. So these are said to be minerals because it is in a compound form. So with the help of these minerals, now we are going to extract whatever we want in the form of a pure or else the extraction of metals will be carried out. So minerals are the chemical substances. These are the chemical substances which are present in the earth crust they can be obtained by mining. Okay, by the help of mining process we are going to get the chemical substances. So in those chemical substances our desired metals are present. So that is nothing but the ore. Okay, so minerals are the chemical substances which are present in the earth crust. They can be obtained by the mining. So next is ore. So now we can ores can be defined as the minerals from which metals can be extracted. So minerals from which metal can be extracted. So it must be profitable or else a commercial one. It must be commercial or economical. So that is called as a O. So we are going to get the chemical substance, the natural occurring chemical substance. So these are occurred naturally. So within the earth crust we are going to get the minerals here. So that is why the naturally occurred chemical substances which are present in the earth crust, they can be obtained by the mining, are called as minerals. From the minerals we are going to extract the metal. So that metal extraction must be profitable as well as the economic one. So profitable means whenever we are going to extract those metals, so they must be commercial one. So whenever we are going to extracting the metals, we have to consider the commercial values as well as the economical values. So that is why the ores are the substances which can be extracted from the minerals through the commercial as well as economical consideration. And I am going to tell you one thing, the all ores are minerals, but all minerals are not the ores. So all ores are minerals, but not all minerals are not ores, because from the mineral only we are going to get the ores. So that is why ores can be minerals, but not all minerals cannot be ore. Okay. So by the help of these two terms, minerals and ore, we are going to extracting the certain kind of metals from the minerals. Okay. So already I said the third most abundant element is found as alumina. So that is Al2O3. It is also exist in the form of mica and clay. So and moreover the ruby stones as well as the sapphire stones. So those also contain alumina, that is Al2O3. So in this alumina, in case of ruby, we can find the presence of chromium metal, and in case of sapphire, so the cobalt metal is present. So it is asked in the CET as well as the JEE. So ruby metal contains chromium and sapphire contains the cobalt here. Here the ore must be bauxite or else alumina. Okay, Al2O3. So if they are asking about ore, the ruby contains which ore means it contains alumina. Sapphire is also contains alumina or else bauxite. And next, the metal which is present in the ruby is chromium. So due to presence of this chromium metal in the ruby, it will gives red color to that stone. So ruby is red in color because of the presence of chromium, and also cobalt will gives the blue color for this stone. So that is why that is called as a sapphire. So sapphire contains cobalt and color of that stone should be blue, and the ruby contains chromium and color of that should be red. So this is about the some introductory part. If we see the most important metals and ores, for your syllabus we have alumina, copper and iron, zinc. So how the ores and minerals can be extracted from this. So I am going to give the table of that, means only few elements like copper, gold, silver and noble gases. So these are exist in the free state, but all others are exist in the combined form. So that is why these are the sum of the ore and their composition. So in this first one is aluminium. So if this aluminium metal is present in the form of a bauxite ore and it is having composition Al2O3, so it can be written it as in the form of a hydroxide. So that is LOX OH3 minus 2X, and another form of aluminium ore is kaolinite. So it is present in the form of a clay. So these are nothing but the aluminosilicates. So next to aluminium we have iron. This iron is having four important forms. So it is existing the four important forms of ore. One is hematite. You have to remember all the four types because sometimes it is always asking in the CET. So you have to write chemical composition also along with their names. Okay. the first foremost ore of iron is hematite. It is exist in the form of Fe2O3, iron trioxide. So next ore is magnetite, so that is the ferrite, Fe3O4, and the third one is siderite. The composition of that ore is the ferrous carbonate, so that is FeCO3, and another one is iron pyrites, and it is found in the form of sulfides, so that is iron sulfide, FeS2. So hematite, magnetite, siderite, iron pyrites. So they can ask like what are the ores of iron, or else write the composition of hematite or siderite, magnetite as well as the iron pyrites. So that is why it is very important one. So hematite, magnetite, siderite, iron pyrites. So along with this you have to remember the compositions of those ores. So in hematite Fe2O3, magnetite Fe3O4, siderite FeCO3, iron pyrites are sulfides FeS2. So after iron we have another important metal, so that is copper. It is also found in the 4 different forms of ore. One is the copper pyrites, so it has the composition copper, ferrous, iron sulfide, and the second ore of copper is malachite, and it has the composition the cobalt carbonate along with the copper hydroxide. So it is also copper. So copper carbonate along with the copper hydroxide. It is found in the combined form of carbonates as well as the hydroxide. And the third one is cuprite. It is exist in the form of oxide, so that is Cu2O, copper oxide. So the fourth one ore of copper is the copper glans. So it is also found in the form of sulfide, that is the copper sulfide. So Cu2S. So the fourth abundant element is zinc. So it is found in the 3 forms. One is zinc blende, tourmaline, and zincate. So in case of zinc blende, the composition is zinc sulfide. So in case of zinc blende, the zinc sulfide is present, and in case of calamine, the zinc carbonate is present. In case of zincate, the zinc oxide is present. So these are the 4 important metals and their ores as well as their composition. So now we are going to extract this kind of metals from the ore. So for example, say I want to extract the iron. Can I choose hematite, magnetite, siderite, iron pyrites? I have 4 ores. Out of those 4 ores, we have to select only one ore for the extraction, or else we have to choose the ores which must be commercial or else profitable as well as the economical. So that's why if I choose iron pyrites for the extraction of metal, it is not feasible, because iron pyrites contains the composition of iron pyrites must be the iron sulfide, that is FeS2. So it will produces the poisonous gases like SO2. So whenever we are going to extract the iron from this iron pyrites, it produces the poisonous gas, that is the sulfur dioxide. It is very dangerous to human health if humans are inhaling, because it is easily mixed up with the atmosphere air as well as it gets polluted. As a result of that, if the person will breathe thereby the taken of that poisonous gas in the air, so it will causes the very much dangerous health issues. So that is why by the concentration of that economic value also we have to choose the corresponding ore for the extraction of a corresponding metal. So by leaving iron pyrites, we can choose any kind of ores like hematite, magnetite as well as the siderite. So in this way, whenever ores are very much available in the earth crust, we have to choose a certain ores. They must be feasible as well as economical friendly, because whenever we are going to do the extractions of ore from the earth crust, so the pollutant or else impurity which is present, so that can be removed or else disposed in the previous days, those are going to be disposed in the water. So then water is also going to be polluted. So in this way it will cause us very dangerous health issues for the surrounding peoples which are present in their area, means in that mining area. So that is why whenever we are going to do the extraction of certain metals, we have to consider economic values, and it must be viable, and it must be commercial or else a profitable one, and we have to consider also the environmental safety. So by considering these methods or by having these reasons, we are going to do the extraction of metals from their ore. So this is called as a extraction. So now how we can extracting the metals? If we are going to do the scientific extraction by using some of the technologies, then it is called as the metallurgy. So we have different kinds of ore for different metals. Not only we are simply not getting minerals from the ore, means we are not able to extract metal simply from the ore. We have to follow certain technologies as well as the methods for the extraction of metals. So that is why now we can define the metallurgy is the scientific and technological process. It is the scientific and technological process for the extraction of metal from their ore. Okay, we have to do scientific methods as well as the technological process used for the isolation is nothing but extraction, isolation of metal from their ore. So that is called as the metallurgy. So you have to remember the definition of metallurgy. So it is scientific and technological process used for the isolation of metal from their ore. So it is called as the metallurgy, and during this metallurgy the extraction of metals will involve some of the principle. Based on certain principle, we are going to extracting metals from their ore. So for the isolation of metal from the ore, we have 3 steps, means we have to follow 3 steps. One is the concentration of ore, and second one is the purification of ore, because pure ore, the ore contains many kinds of compositions. So if you want certain and the composite metal, we have to eliminate all those composition as well as their impurities, because in the earth crust, if you are going to extract gold is not present in a pure form. So by digging earth, we are not getting any pure form of gold. So along with the gold, there is a presence of the earthy materials like clay as well as sand, plastic, whatever it may be. So we have to remove all the unwanted materials, then we are going to collect the pure form of a metal. So that is why for the isolation of elements, we have to do the concentration of the ore, and thirdly the isolation of metal. Second one is the isolation of metal from its ore by following some of the methods, and third one is purification. So by following these 3 methods, we are going to extract the metals from their ore. So that process is said to be extraction. So these are the methods which are going to use for the extraction of the metal from its ore, and moreover the ore contains the impurities or else unwanted materials, so that is called as the gangue. So the ore must contain the impurities or else unwanted materials are called as the gangue. So we have to remove gangue by the help of concentration of ore. Further we are going to do the isolation of metal from its ore. So lastly we are going to do the purification of those ores. So that's why we have this. By considering these three steps we are going to do the isolation of metal from its ore. So in that first one is the concentration of a ore. The concentration of a So the removal of unwanted materials like sand, clay, other oxides or else any chemicals which are present along with the ore. So the removal of those unwanted materials from the ore is called as the concentration of a ore. It is also called as dressing as well as the beneficiation of a ore. Okay, the removal of unwanted materials or impurities from the ore is called as the concentration of ore or else dressing or else beneficiation. So through these three terms we have to remember what is meant by the concentration of ore. The removal of unwanted materials or impurities from the ore is called as the concentration or else a dressing or else a beneficiation of ore. And we are going to done this process by the help of difference in their physical properties, by considering the difference in the physical properties, because ore contains gangue materials, means the unwanted materials. So ore must be having the different physical properties compared to that of gangue. So by considering those physical properties we are going to purify ore from this gangue. So for the concentration of ore we have four types. One is the hydraulic washing, and third one is the magnetic separation, and third one is the fourth flotation process, and fourth one is leaching. So depending upon which kind of ore we are going to taken, so through that physical properties we are going to decide which process is suitable for the purification of ore. So that's why, so the first one is the hydraulic washing. So it is comes under all these four types are comes under the concentration of ore, means for the elimination or else a removal of gangue material we are going to do this process. So in this first one is the hydraulic washing. So this hydraulic washing is depends upon the difference in the gravities of both ore as well as the gangue materials, means it may be size or else density of both ore as well as the gangue materials. So it is depends upon the difference in between the specific gravities of ore as well as gangue. It is based on the difference in the specific gravity of ore and gangue. So it may be size or else density. Okay, so this is the principle of this hydraulic washing. If they ask about what is the principle of hydraulic washing, means it is based on the difference in the specific gravities of ore and gangue. Okay, so here the specific gravities may be density or else size. So as the name suggests, hydraulic washing means So this, if I tell ore is heavier one compared to that of the gangue material. If I consider ore is heavier and gangue is a lighter particles, or else unwanted materials are lighter in size compared to that of a ore. If I put the running water from upward direction, from the, if it is container, it contains the mixture of ore as well as the gangue. If I run the water from this type, so forcefully if I run the water from the above, so then the lighter particles are coming at the top of the position and the heavier particles are settled down at the bottom. So these heavier particles are nothing but our ore, and this unwanted material is nothing but the impurities, or else a gangue. So this gangue is lighter in nature, so that is why it can be comes at the above layer, and now we can remove this gangue material by simply straining. So this is about the hydraulic washing. For example, in our home, if you are going to do the rice, to cook the rice, before going to cook rice, we are going to wash rice with the water. Okay, so whenever washing rice with the help of water, so we are going to stir them. Then lighter particles, means dust or else any simple stones, means so the unwanted materials are comes at the above layer, so then we are going to drain off those the above layer water. So at the settle at the bottom we are going to get the pure rice. So in this way the same process is carried out in case of hydraulic washing. So ore materials are heavier in nature, so that's why whenever we are run the upward stream of water to it, ore material is settled at the bottom and unwanted gangue material will becomes at the above layer, and further it should be drained off, then we are going to get the pure ore. So this is the hydraulic washing. So we have to use the upward stream of running water. Okay, so we have to put the water from this upward motion, so it must be running one, then only this bottom-emitted gangue material should becomes at the above layer, then they must be drained off, then we are going to get the pure ore. So this is called as the hydraulic washing. Okay, so the next method is the magnetic separation. It is very easy. So simply by running water, so we are going to eliminating the gangue materials, like the removal of unwanted materials from the rice. Okay, so it is based on the principle is difference in the specific gravities of ore and gangue. So the second method is the magnetic separation. So the second method is the magnetic separation. So this process is depends upon the magnetic properties of the difference in the magnetic properties of the ore as well as the gangue. So either ore must be behave as a magnet, or else gangue is also behaving as a magnet. So if both are not magnetic in nature, then we are not going to follow this method, because it is depends upon the difference in the magnetic properties of ore as well as the gangue. So either ore is behaving as a magnet or the gangue can be behaving as a magnet. So then only we can do the magnetic separation. Okay, it is based on the differences in the magnetic properties of ore and gangue. Magnetic properties of ore and gangue. Either ore is magnet means it should show magnetic attraction, or gang will show the magnetic attraction. Then only we can do the magnetic separation. So in this magnetic separation, we are going to use the conveyor belt. So this is the conveyor belt. It must be fixed with one magnetic roll. So this is the normal magnetic roll. It should be normal. So wheeling rolls. So this is the another roll, but it must be the magnetic roll. So this is conveyor belt. In the airport, we are going to see the conveyor belt. So by putting luggages through, it will comes to the person. So similar to that, we are choose the conveyor belt. One of the end is fixed with the rotating the normal wheel, and another end we have to put the magnetic roller. So whenever we are put the ore or else a mixture of ore plus gang on this conveyor belt. So see here, I will write once again diagram. So this is the conveyor belt. So one is magnetic roll. So another one is normal. If we put the ore and mixture of ore and gang to on this conveyor, so simply it going to travel like this. So when it comes to side of magnetic roll, it is moves, and when the ore is in a shows magnetic property or magnetic attraction towards this roll, then it comes to roll. So when roll is ends, then it can be going to collected in the container. The remaining gang material, it is in a non-magnetic particle, means it is not showing attraction towards the roll. As a result of that, we are going to collect those materials in the another contains. So those are called as the non-magnetic particles. So that is nothing but the gang, non-magnetic material. So it is the magnetic materials. If ore is magnetic one, then we are going to collect ore in this magnetic container. If gang is magnetic one, then gang is attracted over this roller, and then it comes to found in this container. So if ore is non-magnetic, then it going to be collected in the non-magnetic material. So that is why, so either of ore or else gang, one of them is magnetic one. So whenever it comes nearest to magnetic roll, those magnetic materials are attracted by those wheels, then it should be come. Whenever the magnetic field is removed, then they are going to fall. So those materials should be collected in the one of the container. Okay, in this way we are going to separate ore from the gang. So this is the magnetic separation. So simple way we are going to remember this method. So we have to put ore and gang mixture through over the conveyor belt. So when it reaches to the magnetic roll, the ore material started to attract towards that magnetic roll, and when the magnetic field is removed, those are fallen in the container and those can be separated, and the materials which are non-magnetic, simply these are falling at the end of other roll. So in this way we are going to separate ore as well as the gang. It is based on the differences in the magnetic properties of ore and gang. So this is the principle of magnetic separation. The third concentration method is the fourth flotation process. So in this process, so only we can extract or we can purify the sulfide ores. Okay, this method is suitable only for sulfur. The ore must contain sulfide, like iron sulfide, copper sulfide, zinc sulfides. So those ores can be purified, means we can remove the gang materials from fourth flotation process. So that is why this method is used for the removal of gang from sulfide ores. So during this process, firstly we have to make a suspension of this powdered sulfide ore with the water. So we have to add that sulfide ores in the water, and it makes a suspension. Suspension means all the particles are not dissolved in the water. Some particles remain insoluble. So that is called as the suspension. Only the gangue particles will soluble in the water, but ore particles, some of the ore particles are present. So that is called as a suspension. Means here, whenever we are adding water to the sulfide ores, only the gangue materials are attracted with the water, but not ores. So that's why the gangue materials are surrounded by the water droplets. Okay, so this is the water, and those will be surrounded by the gangue materials, but not ore. So that is why in this process, by the addition of some of the collectors and as well as the fourth stabilizers. So one is the term collectors. Collectors are nothing but pine oil. Examples of collectors are pine oil and gansite and fatty acids. So we have to add these collectors to maintain unwetting property of ore. Okay, we have to maintain, or else we are adding collectors to do the unwetting of the ore materials or else mineral particles. And next we are going to add the fourth stabilizers like crysols. Okay, so like cresol and aniline. Okay, it will stabilize the fourth, means it will maintain the fourth. So for the help of that, to maintaining the fourth, we are going to use fourth stabilizers, and we are going to use collectors to maintain the unwetting of mineral or else ore with the water. Okay, so I said that whenever we are making the suspension, only the gangue materials are attracted by the water, means they can soluble in the water, but not ore particles. So in the container, we have to take the mixture of ore as well as the gangue, means sulfide ores simply we are going to add in the container. Then we have to add water. So the water is surrounded by the gangue materials, means gangue is attracted towards the water. So next, ores can be maintain unwettability by addition of collectors. Means if we are adding pine oil to ore, then ore is surrounded by the pine oil. Okay, so this is the ore, so this is the pine oil droplet. So when these pine oil droplets are surrounded over the ore, then water, if it is water comes to near to this pine oil or else any collector material, it is not able to touch this one, means it is not able to wet this ore material, because oil is dispersed from the water, means oil and water are not mixed up with each other. As a result, ore materials are only surrounded by the collectors, and they will always unwetted in nature. But the gangue particle is surrounded by the water moiety. As a result, it will not able to get wetted with the ore, means gangue is always surrounded by water, and ore is surrounded by the collector. So as a result, so we will get the different ore as well as the gangue particles. So now if we put the rotating paddle in this container, so whenever we are making buttermilk, so then we are going to use some apparatus, so that is called as a rotating paddle. Okay, similar to that, we are going to use the rotating paddles in this collector, or sorry, in this container. So whenever we are rotating that pad, so it will drops out the air. So air bubbles are started. As a result of that, the ore materials, because those are covered by the collector, like pine oil or else fatty acids, so those are lighter in nature and those should comes at the upward position and they should forms the fourth. Okay, so the fourth should be lighter one, since it will comes at the above layer. In this fourth we should have our ore which is surrounded by the collector. Okay, in this way this fourth will be skimmed off, then we are going to get only ore particles, and gangue particles are present at the bottom of the tank or else the bottom of the container. So I will once again explain this method. So it is suitable only for the sulfide ore. So when we are going to do this fourth flotation process, we have to firstly, the crushed ore should be soluble in the water, then we have to make suspension. Only the gangue particles are soluble in water because they are attracted toward the water, but ore particles are not attracted toward the water. So then we have to add collectors. So those collectors are nothing but pine oil or else fatty acids or else xanthates. So they should maintain unwetness of ore, and those collectors are surrounded over the ore or else a mineral. So gangue particles are surrounded by the water molecule. Whenever we are drop out the rotating paddle, then it will agitate the mixture of ore and gangue. As a result, the lighter ore materials will comes at the above layer by having fourth form, means in the form of fourth they should enter into the above layer and it should be skimmed off. Then we will going to get the ore material, then it should be dried and then we can get the recovery of ore, and at the bottom of the container we should get the gangue. So in this way we are going to remove the gangue materials from the sulfide ores. Okay, and sometimes we are also use this method for the purification of mixture of ores like lead ore as well as the zinc sulfide, lead sulfide and zinc sulfide. So by using the depressant we are going to add some of the depressants like the sodium cyanide. It should be selectively prevents the zinc sulfide for coming fourth, but allows PBS come with the fourth. Means if you add the sodium cyanide as a depressant, okay, so if we are add sodium cyanide as a depressant, it will firstly allows only the lead sulfide. So lead sulfide will enters to the fourth first. So then we are going to purify zinc sulfide. So in this way we are going to do the purification by the mixture of two ores, or else simply we are going to do the sulfide ore purification process by the help of a fourth flotation process. Fourth is present always at the above layer because it is lighter, like fourth is nothing but Nore. Okay, so that is called as the fourth flotation process. The fourth step is, the fourth type of concentration of ore is leaching. So it is done whenever ore is able to soluble in the suitable solvent. Leaching can be done when ore is soluble in some solvents. So then we can do this method for the concentration of ore. Okay, so we have the leaching of alumina from bauxite. So we can purify alumina from the bauxite ore. Leaching of alumina from the bauxite. So this aluminium trioxide, so means bauxite ore contains impurities like silicates as well as the titanium oxide. Okay, this bauxite will contain silicon dioxide and titanium dioxide. So whenever we are heating the ore of alumina in presence of a concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide, by maintaining temperature of about 473 Kelvin to 523 Kelvin and 35 bar to 36 bar of pressure is required. So by adding concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide to the bauxite ore, if you are heating that bauxite ore with the concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide, we are going to get the formation of a sodium aluminate. So because the digestion should be undergoes, as a result we are going to get the formation of a sodium aluminate along with the presence of some of the impurities like silicon dioxide. Okay, SiO2 is still present in this sodium aluminate. So that is called as the leaching of alumina from bauxite. So see here, reactions of this should be, so whenever we are adding the concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide to alumina, it should form the sodium aluminate. Okay, it should forms the sodium aluminate, and the impurity SiO2 is also forming the sodium silicate, and remaining impurities are also present, and the sodium aluminate present in this mixture, it can be again neutralized by the addition of the small amount of carbon dioxide. Okay, this sodium aluminate can be neutralized by the addition of carbon dioxide, then it should forms the aluminates in the form of water. Okay, means aluminates are present in the water. And some of the impurities are eliminated. So this alumina is precipitated in the water, so then we have to add the freshly prepared alumina. So during this process, so that is called as the seeding. So when we are going to neutralize this sodium aluminate by the addition of carbon dioxide, the alumina is going to be precipitated in the water, and during that time we have to add the small amount of freshly prepared alumina. So that process is said to be seeding. So when we are going to get this aluminates in the form of precipitation, we have to heat that precipitate of about 1470 Kelvin. We are going to get the alumina with the liberation of water molecule, and we have to still the sodium silicates are present in the mixture, but we have to filtrate the pure alumina, then it should be dried, then we are going to extract the alumina from the bauxite. So this is the leaching method, means it should be able to do whenever those minerals or also ores are able to soluble in the some of the solvent. So this is the method of leaching of alumina from the bauxite. So similar to that, we are going to do same kind of leaching process for other metals also, like silver and gold. So alumina is the most important one. So these are the 4 concentration methods of ores. One is the hydraulic washing, it is depends upon or based upon the principle of the difference in the specific gravities, and second one is the magnetic separation, it is based on the difference in the magnetic properties of ore and the gangue material, and third one is the fourth flotation process, it is able to do whenever ore contains the sulfide, means it is suitable only for the sulfide ores, and the fourth one is the leaching process. So all these methods are comes under the concentration of a ore. Concentration of ore is nothing but the process of removal of unwanted materials from the ore. So that is called as the concentration of ore, or a dressing, or else a beneficiation. So in next video we can discuss about the next method, that is the isolation of metal from the ore. So thank you all.